Deep in the Scottish Highlands lies a body of water shrouded in mist and mystery, Loch Ness. For centuries, this dark, cold loch has held a secret, a legend that has captivated the world. What lurks beneath its murky surface? Is it a monster, a myth, or something else entirely? Today, we dive into the depths to uncover the truth behind the Loch Ness Monster. The story of Nessie, as she's affectionately known, is as old as the hills that surround the loch. Local folklore passed down through generations paints a chilling picture of the creature. They speak of a being with a long, serpentine neck, a massive, humpbacked body that glides effortlessly through the water, and movements reminiscent of a creature from a long-lost prehistoric era. Some even claim to have seen its eyes, glowing eerily just beneath the surface, watching, waiting. These aren't just modern campfire tales. The legend is woven into the very fabric of Scottish history. The earliest documented sighting takes us all the way back to the 6th century. In the year 565 AD, the Irish monk St. Columba was traveling near the River Ness when he encountered a terrifying scene. According to his biographer, a water beast had attacked a local man, dragging him underwater. St. Columba, showing incredible bravery, made the sign of the cross and commanded the beast to retreat. Miraculously, the creature obeyed and fled, leaving the man unharmed. This account, written just a century after the event, is the first written record of a monster in Loch Ness, planting the seed of a legend that would endure for over 1,000 years. For centuries, the tales remained mostly local folklore, whispers among the people who lived by the loch. But everything changed in the 1930s. The completion of a new road along the northern shore of Loch Ness in 1933 opened up the area to outsiders like never before. Suddenly, sightings exploded. People from all walks of life began reporting strange phenomena. A London couple, George Spicer and his wife, claimed to have seen an extraordinary form of animal with a long neck crossing the road in front of their car and disappearing into the loch. Their story, published in a local newspaper, sparked a media frenzy. The world became obsessed. Monster hunters descended upon the quiet Scottish loch, all hoping to catch a glimpse of the creature. Reports flooded in. Boats mysteriously overturned. Strange V-shaped wakes appeared on the calm water with nothing to cause them. And sonar readings detected massive, unidentifiable objects moving deep below. The legend of the water beast was no longer just a local story. It had become a global sensation. And then came the photograph. In 1934, a highly respected London surgeon named Robert Kenneth Wilson was visiting the loch when he captured what would become the most iconic image of the Loch Ness Monster. The surgeon's photograph showed a long, slender neck and head rising gracefully from the water. Published in the Daily Mail, this image cemented Nessie's place in popular culture. For decades, it was held up as irrefutable proof of the monster's existence. It was the smoking gun, the definitive evidence that something truly extraordinary lived in Loch Ness. But as with all great mysteries, skepticism and scientific inquiry followed. The surgeon's photograph, the very symbol of the Nessie legend, was eventually exposed as a hoax. Decades later, in the 1990s, one of the co-conspirators confessed on his deathbed. The monster was actually a toy submarine fitted with a sculpted head and neck. It was a clever prank that fooled the world for over 60 years. The revelation was a huge blow to believers, but it was far from the end of the story. Even without the famous photo, the sheer volume of eyewitness accounts and unexplained phenomena keeps the mystery alive. So, what could Nessie be? The theories are as vast and deep as the loch itself. The most popular and romantic theory is that Nessie is a surviving plesiosaur. These long-necked marine reptiles were thought to have gone extinct with the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Proponents of this theory argue that Loch Ness, with its immense depth and cold, dark water, could have provided a secluded sanctuary for a small population to survive, hidden from the world. It's a tantalizing idea, a living fossil from a bygone age. However, scientists are quick to point out the problems with this theory. Loch Ness is only about 10,000 years old, formed at the end of the last ice age. A plesiosaur would have had to get there somehow. Furthermore, being cold-blooded reptiles, they would likely struggle to survive in the frigid waters of the loch, which average a chilly 42 degrees Fahrenheit, and a single creature couldn't live for centuries. A breeding population would be needed, making them much more likely to be seen. Another compelling theory suggests that Nessie is not a reptile, but a fish, a giant eel. This idea gained significant traction in recent years, after a scientific team conducted a massive DNA survey of the loch. They collected water samples from various depths and locations to catalog all the life within. While they found no evidence of plesiosaur DNA, they did find an abundance of eel DNA. Could the sightings be misidentified giant eels? Eels can grow to impressive sizes, and a large one swimming near the surface could, from a distance, be mistaken for something more monstrous. But what about the more mystical explanations? Some believe Nessie is not a creature of flesh and blood at all, but a spirit of the lake, a manifestation of the loch's ancient, powerful energy. This ties back to the older folklore, where such beings, or kelpies, were common in Scottish mythology. In this view, Nessie is a supernatural entity, beyond the grasp of science and sonar. It's a beautiful, poetic idea that respects the deep cultural roots of the legend. And then, there's the simplest explanation of all. It's an illusion. Loch Ness is a place prone to strange visual tricks. The long, narrow shape of the loch can create unusual wave patterns and optical illusions. Windswept debris, floating logs, or even boat wakes can be easily mistaken for a creature, especially in poor light or from a distance. Our own desire to see a monster can play tricks on our minds, turning a shadow into a serpent, a wave into a hump. Perhaps Nessie is simply the world's most famous case of wishful thinking. Over the years, numerous scientific expeditions have tried to solve the puzzle once and for all. Operation Deep Scan in 1987 involved a fleet of 24 boats equipped with sonar, sweeping the entire loch. They recorded several strong, unexplained sonar contacts. One of the most intriguing was an object described as larger than a shark but smaller than a whale deep in the water. Despite these tantalizing clues, no expedition has ever produced definitive, conclusive proof of a large, unknown animal. The loch holds its secrets tightly. Today, the Loch Ness Monster is more than just a mystery. It's an industry. It fuels the local economy, drawing hundreds of thousands of tourists to the Scottish Highlands each year. They come to take boat tours, visit the museums, and stare out at the water, all hoping to be the one to finally capture a clear photos or video. Nessie has become a beloved cultural icon, a symbol of the enduring power of mystery in our modern, scientific world. So, what is the truth? Is Nessie a prehistoric survivor, a giant eel, a mystical spirit, or a grand illusion fueled by folklore and hope? Maybe the answer doesn't really matter. The search for Nessie is a search for wonder, a reminder that there are still mysteries left in the world, dark corners on the map where monsters might still dwell. The legend of Loch Ness is a story about the intersection of myth, science, and the human imagination. And as long as the waters of the loch remain dark and deep, the legend of Nessie will continue to fascinate and inspire us for generations to come. What do you think is hiding in the depths of Loch Ness? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more explorations into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.